Hey everyone. So my name is Richard. I'm a dev on the MakeCode team,
And I'm Joey. I'm also a dev on the MakeCode team.
and today we're going to be continuing our video experiments, and we're going to be making a 5 second game today.
Mhm.
So why are we making a 5 second game, Joey?
We're starting a game jam on Monday on itch.io.
And I assume that's some sort of preserved game form that's put into a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to put it into a bottle with a bunch of other games and combine them all into one.
Okay, cool. In actuality, though, the game jam is just kind of an event for people to build games in MakeCode Arcade. We're doing a theme this time. It's going to be 5 second games. And the idea is that we'll take a lot of these games at the end and we'll stitch them together. So we'll have one big mega game that is made from a lot of the community-driven games. So to get people started, I guess we're going to kind of build one of those today.
Yes.
And yeah.
Okay. So first off, we're going to just go to the game jam page at ak.ms/arcadejam. That has a lot of the features for it. See, we're logged in. We got 11 people signed up so far, which is pretty fun. And then we have a template to start with for making the game.
Right.
Show us how to interact and keep everything aligned to the time limit.
Yep. So because all games in this jam have to be 5 seconds long, we went ahead and made a template game that you can use to basically put around your 5 second game. And this handles things like when the game ends, the actual countdown timer, and it'll make it easier for us to combine them all together at the end.
Yes. So I press edit code so we can go straight into the code to make the game. So we've loaded up the template project, and this is the little example that we give you to start making the game. It shows you have a little character in the center of the game. Let's make this full screen just to make sure it's clear.
So what's going on in this game that we have right here? I see it saying eat and win.
Yeah. So this time we avoided it, so I don't think that's what we want to do because it said lose. So we're eating the donuts that are coming in from the right side. Those are projectiles that start off right there. And we're playing as the character, it looks like.
I see. So we are the princess, and when we eat the donuts, we win the game. If we miss all of the donuts by going up or down, then we lose the game.
Yeah, we have to take an action to lose the game, though, so that's a little bit weird.
Sure.
Okay. And then if we look at the project itself, it looks like we have a little bit more than we usually do.
Yeah, I don't recognize the storyboard or game jam categories.
Yeah. So it looks like Storyboard is something that's just used internally in the template game. It's something that allows you to change scenes, which is what we're going to do later to combine all of them into one. You don't really have to worry about that one. But Game Jam is an important one. It's got 3 blocks in it right now. There might be more later, but we'll keep you updated on that in the itch.io page if that happens. But right now it looks like we have a block to win or lose the game. If we click on it, it'll say lose. Something to toggle a debug loop, which we'll explain in a minute. And something to show some instructions.
Okay.
Okay. So if we click away, it looks like we already have all 3 of those blocks in here right now. Right here.
Yeah. So I know we're building a 5 second game. It seems like this game just keeps going, though. So the counter gets down to 5 seconds, and it just turns on again. Does that have anything to do with this debug loop?
Yeah. So the debug loop is what's making it so it keeps on playing the game over and over and over again. So it'll start over right away.
I see. So it's like a way for us to try out our game without having to restart the simulator every time.
Yeah. So if we accidentally lose right away, we don't have to, press restart a bunch of times and keep on changing focus.
Makes sense.
If we turn that off right now, it'll restart the simulator because we've made a change. We've eaten our donut here, and let's see what happens. So we win, and the game's over. In the final product, maybe more games will be played after that happens.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay. So we can turn that back on so we can, make our game. And we see this show instructions block. So that says eat on it. So that looks like it's the thing that shows up right at the beginning. It's giving you the instructions to make your game because for a 5 second game, you don't really have that much time to learn on the go.
Right.
Okay. And then we have some more blocks. There's not that many, so I think we should just go through all of them right now to make sure we're on the same page. We have this little block that says set hungry to sprite, the princess right here of kind player. This one creates a sprite for you that will make it so you can have something on the screen.
Yep. If you've used the arcade editor before, you've probably seen these 2 blocks: the set hungry and then the move hungry with buttons.
Yes. And the set hungry is what's making it so it's storing it in a variable for you to keep track of it for later. Move hungry with buttons, what does that one do?
Makes it so that I know that one. Makes it so that the D-pad actually controls the.
Yeah, so that's why we can move this person right here.
Yep.
And we don't have to, make that with other blocks all by ourselves. Just a simple way to do that. On-game update every 500 milliseconds.
It's half a second.
Yeah, that's half a second. If we click down here, we can see some other options, but we'll just leave it like that for now. What this does is make it so you have an event that occurs every half of a second. So every half of a second, this thing will happen.
That code will run.
Yeah,
The set projectile.
Yeah, that code will run. Yes. And then the set projectile, do you know what this one does?
Yeah, I do, actually. It creates the donut. So it looks like it's setting the image, so the donut image, and then the velocity. In arcade, the velocity is positive if you're going left to right, and it's negative if you're going right to left. So it looks like it's setting the negative x velocity.
Mm-hmm. There's another interesting thing about that one right here, in that it's coming from the right direction that we want, right? So it's starting off over here, which is not normal, because normally the sprites start in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So that seems like a nice behavior. Yeah, we can change that later. Maybe if we try setting a VY here, we'll see something else happen.
Sure.
And if we set that, it will send it in from the top right corner, it looks like.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
Making it so it goes across the screen. Let's restart that for ourselves. And we're good to go. And then we have one other section of the code to start with. On sprite of kind player overlaps other sprite of kind projectile. That's a really big block.
Right.
But all it means really is that we have our little player right here, and we have our projectile. And when they overlap, when they touch each other, this code will run. That makes sense?
Yep. And it looks like it's also setting the game to win there.
Yeah. So it's calling this game win block. So win game. What that does is signal to the game jam, to the stuff that we will write later, that you have won the game. If we change that right here maybe, and restart it, after 5 seconds right here, we will lose. So that's how we know that we've won the game. And then one final block, it says, destroy other sprite. And if we look right here, it's making it so that when you touch the donut goes away. It gets destroyed. So first off, we want to change the game so that it's the opposite of this one. So you're trying to avoid the donuts for now. So the easiest way to do that would be to change what makes you win the game, right? So we can change this to make it so instead of winning the game when it hits you, you lose the game. That's the first step.
Okay.
And then one other thing we'll have to do is that by default you lose the game when you end the timeout without winning the game. So we can start off by winning the game by just dragging out a win game block and putting it into right here. So now...
I see. So usually when you're playing the game, it's more about accomplishing something so that you pass and you win.
Yes.
But in this case, we actually just want to avoid that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We want to avoid the donuts so that they don't get to you and end the game with a loss. So now if we finish this one right now, it's going to lose. But if we move out of the way now, in one more second, it will win.
Okay, cool.
So simple game, that's the opposite already. So the next thing would be to change the instructions so that we don't know that we want to eat them, because we don't want to eat them anymore. Okay, so we can change that right here with the show instruction block. That's the one that pops up in the middle right here. So if we want to eat right now, we can say we want it to avoid. And let's see if that looks all right. We got it right there.
Yeah, I would make it all caps though.
Yeah, all caps makes it a lot more...
Just easier to read.
Instructional, yeah. Avoid. So we got our avoiding going on.
Perfect.
Okay. And another thing we can do is try and make it so the donuts can follow you around. Right?
Yeah, I got to say right now, this is not a very interesting game.
No, it's kind of just like one action you have to make. So the action would be right here. And then you win, which is really boring. So we are making the projectiles right here. This is what's making the projectile spawn from the side, the little donuts. What we want to do is make them follow you. So if we go to sprites, and look at the bottom of the physics category, we have a little block here to make it so the sprites can follow one another. So if we drag this one out and then change all the blocks, so we don't have a my enemy or a my sprite, we need to change this one to make projectile follow this guy's named Hungry. Then it will be following you around. So let's try that. And that's a little bit fast.
Okay, I see. So we have right now a character named Hungry,
Mm-hmm.
and we've just made it so that every time we create a projectile, we're setting that projectile to follow the Hungry sprite.
Yes. And they'll follow you around. So it's looking pretty fast right now, so I was thinking maybe we should change the speed they follow you.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
We can say maybe half as fast as it currently is. So right now it's 100. We can change that to 50. That's how fast they will move at you. So now they're following you around. You can kind of avoid them. I lost that time, but we can try and win if we move around. Looks like we can go off the screen too right now, so that's probably not ideal. We probably want to be constrained within the screen. So to do that, we also have another block that can keep us within the screen at all times. If we go here, and then under effects, there's the set my sprite stay in screen. So we can change that to make Hungry stay in screen and turn it on. Let's rearrange this so everything's still visible. So if we want to play that now, we can, well, we already lost this time. So let's reset and move around to avoid getting hit by the donuts.
That does make the game much more difficult, it seems.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think it makes any sense right now, because I don't think you want to avoid donuts usually.
I mean, I would have to probably check an encyclopedia, but I don't think the food chain has donuts eating princesses.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Yeah.
So what do we want to do there? What should we change the donut first, I suppose?
Sure.
Okay. Well, let's look here, and we can scroll through the gallery to see a bunch of different things around. I'm assuming we're not going to have anything eat the princess in the end, so let's say maybe we'll make the princess into a cake later.
Sure.
Okay. And we can scroll through right here and find something that looks like it would eat some cake. So let's say there's a cat. Do cats eat cake?
No.
No, probably not. Dogs sometimes, but you don't want them to eat cake usually. We can probably go with this girl right here. Look good.
Sure.
Yeah. You can sit them right there, press done, and then the game will be changed where you're now avoiding this girl. It is kind of hard to see her hair though right now, because she's like, if we look back at the sprite, there's parts of her that are colored in with black, and they're not going to show up very well against the black background. Okay. So maybe we should change the color of the background to make it a little bit prettier, easier to see.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we go to scene and then drag out set background color to, you can place that right here. By default, it's clear, which will default to black again. I always like the blue because that's a really pretty blue.
I think it's more of a cyan, really.
Ooh, you're probably right. Now it's easier to see, and we got different people following us around. Okay. That's good. We said we wanted to change the sprite for the player.
Right. So, let's choose something that's a little more edible, I think.
Yeah, a little bit more edible. So do we want the cake, the ham, or we can make the cake into a pie maybe?
Sure.
Okay. So we can click on that, and then we can use the paint bucket to change the colors of the cake. So I like maybe a chocolate pie, like something like that. So let's change the pink to be brown. Oop. One last one. Yellow looks a little bit out of place to me. Maybe this, is that tan? Something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
A purpley tan, and make that fit in right there. So it looks like chocolate and cherry pie right now.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we can look at the simulator to see how we're doing so far. So now we got these people following us around, and we lost. But this next round, I bet we can win. And we won. Okay. So, are there any other modifications you can think of right away? Like,
Well, I would say right now it's actually really hard to tell if you're going to win or lose by the end of the game.
yeah, the first time I was playing right there, I couldn't really tell because I didn't pay attention at the very beginning and wasn't sure if I got hit or not yet. So how could we fix that, do you think?
Well, one way would be to make something appear on the screen. We could do a sprite, or we could just change the background color.
Okay. We can change the background color to start. I like that. So it's blue right now. So let's grab out another set background color. We know that we've lost when we get hit, right? When the player is overlapping with the projectile. So let's drop that in right here. And what color are you thinking for the background?
Red.
Red looks good to me. So then as soon as we get hit right here, we're going to change to red. A little bit of a stark contrast, but I think that's fine. Makes so you know you've been hit. Maybe we can make the sprite say something too, just to really drive it home that the cake's been eaten.
Sure.
Okay. So we can go to sprites and find under effects the my sprite say. So if we drag that in down here, we can place it right in the same location. And then this sprite variable right here will say the player that has been hit. In this case, it's always going to be the same player, but it's easier to keep track of when you all use these guys because they'll correlate directly.
But you could have used the hungry variable here.
Yeah, I could have used this hungry. This one just relates it directly to the kind so that if you change the kind later, you don't have to change the variable name.
Sure.
Okay. So if we move around, we want to avoid getting hit, but then we got hit, and it's the smiley face. Probably not right. What would you be thinking?
Oh no.
Oh no? Oh no works. I suppose we could have also made the projectile itself say smiley face, but that one gets destroyed right away, so I guess that wouldn't work.
Right.
Okay. So then we have our game right now. What else do you think we could do? We add some particle effects maybe?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. I think we've got pretty complete in terms of the mechanics of the game. So
Yeah.
now we can really kind of focus on the aesthetics.
Yeah, making it prettier. So let's start by adding a little particle effect in the background, I think, so that we have something more going on than just the clear blue.
Sounds good.
So we can go to scene and drag out start screen effect. And that will start a little background effect that goes on in the background. And I'll get rid of this little extra variable here. So as soon as we start avoiding, it's going to be showing some confetti right now.
Yeah, that kind of fits with the whole cake theme.
Yeah, it does fit with the cake theme. I was thinking we might have to change it, but that's good. So we can change the effect when you get hit. We can just keep on adding more things that happen when you get hit, I suppose. But it doesn't seem like it's confetti time when you've lost a game.
Sure.
Okay. We can go here and duplicate this block to get another one of it. It's the same as dragging another one out. And we can look here at the start screen effect. We kind of blocked it off here, but maybe a blizzard.
Sure.
Yeah, something that will make it cold and, you've lost the game. So then the blizzard takes over. It's still showing the confetti, so I guess we'd have to clear that, but I do like the confetti, so I think we might leave it for now.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Are there any other effects you might be thinking about? I guess we could do something to the cake when it gets eaten.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all icing at this point.
Okay. So we go to effects and we can scroll through right here. We need to change sprite. We need to change my sprite to sprite so that it's referring to the player again correctly. And we can look through what's in here. So there's a bunch of effects. There's smiles. That would be more of what the projectile would do, I think. But maybe we just... Well, I guess disintegrate does sound pretty good.
Yeah,
that
sounds
sounds
good
about
to me.
what we're
Yep.
going for. Oh, and I clicked the wrong thing. Disintegrate. Okay. So when we get eaten, the cake goes away. And it gets eaten piece by piece. That actually gets destroyed a lot more than I thought it would. Like, that's a pretty accurate description of eating cake, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything else you could think of that we might want to do before we submit the game to the contest?
This is looking like a pretty complete game to me.
Yeah. So I think it is ready to go. So I think the last thing would be probably to rename it. So, don't get eaten.
Sure.
or something. If you have a better name.
I mean, it's
I'm
very
sure
straight
basic.
to the point.
Yeah. So, nope. Don't get eat. I wonder why I'm losing focus there. Don't get eaten. And if we go up to the share button, we can make a little link to the game so that anybody else can see it. One thing would be we might want to take a picture of it, so you get an updated little picture right there.
Yep, that's good.
That shows a good state where we're not going to get eaten yet. So that's good. And then if we click publish after saying that we are okay with it being shared, we'll wait a second. There we go. It'll make a little link for us, and we can share that. And we can even post about it on the forum, so that will pop up over there, all ready to be posted. This is where we can talk or ask questions about the game too, so that's a good usage of the forum here.
Yep, so forum.makecode.com. Feel free to post games there. We have a lot of people who are there to comment and answer questions, and I know Joey and I are both on there, so feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, we already did have a question about the game jam already, it looks like.
Yep.
I did answer that one. So we're good to go there. Shared our game.
It's good. Well, I think that's it for our Game Jam game. So we've got our final game here, but I've used arcade before, Joey, and I happen to know that one of the cool things about it is that you can actually play your game on hardware.
Yeah, and I actually have one right here right now. So I have this little Pi Gamer, which allows you to play it on there right now.
Yeah.
So how about we just download the file and try and run it on there?
Sounds good.
Okay, so we can click this download box, and it will give you an option of a lot of things that you can buy to play your games offline. So we have BrainPad Arcade, Meowbit, and so on. I have the Pi Gamer with me right now, so we can click on that one. It'll create the file, and then when that is done, we will be able to drag that over into our game for us.
Yeah, I don't think you guys can see it on the video, but I can promise he is dragging the file over right now.
Right now, actually. It took an extra second for me to get back over there. But
all right,
dragging it over, and it is on here right now.
Cool. So that game that we were just making was running in the browser. Now we've got it running on our actual little hardware. Ooh. And so apologies for the glare, but
that's just kind of how it is with getting these type of games.
Yeah.
And it did work better a second ago.
Oh well.
I'm just gonna and here's us playing the game right now, and I'm in the corner, so I'm gonna lose. But it's the game we just made.
Yep, looks good. Okay. Thanks, guys. This was fun. And hopefully we'll be back with more videos over the coming weeks. We're going to keep doing this. So you should see more of the MakeCode team showing up.
Yeah, and we'd love to see any games that you make in this contest so we can smush them all into one big mini game collection.
Yep, and if you have any feedback on the videos or like specific areas that you would like to see covered, please just check out our forum, forum.makecode.com, and post topics there. We're happy to listen, and we're both pretty active in it. So.
Thank you.